Like wide, like extra
Oh yeah,
wide.
it's 196.
Is it legal?
I think so. Yeah, kind of like a
196
condor.
gram, extra big disc.
I'm
Like
gonna
I
say
don't know. You know when you miss your line in tight woods and there's like those little like trees that you end up hitting and getting lucky. I feel like that one would never get lucky at all. It just gets stuck
no.
every time.
And look how like this thing is like wavy.
But it's
Man,
flippy. Why is it flippy?
I don't know. It's very flippy.
That's weird. Like, what's the point of that disc?
I don't know.
Can you
Uh,
shape it like a Sphinx or a CD2 or something?
Somebody just sent it to me the other day from the lounge, and I just threw it for the first time. What's today? I think I threw it for the first time last night, only like
Hmm.
twice.
Doomsday
It's
trying to take that Costoplast role of just the funkiest
weirdness.
discs you've never thought you might need.
never thought you might need.
Yeah,
I mean, a
I don't know.
cast only really has like one disc that I've kind of liked.
That's what the weird molds do. You get like one or two that you might like.
Berg, baby.
That's kind of it. That's kind of
It's a
Castoplast
Berg life.
shtick. The Stig
But
is
then you,
good, but the Stig is touchy.
but like the Berg is like so many more people are coming or companies are coming out with discs that kind of fit that
I
The
don't
shot.
think
Dillo.
so.
The Dillo's real close.
The Dillo is like a polecat meets a
The
pig.
Dillo's straighter Berg. That's all it is. Flies almost identical to a Berg with no finish.
It has
Or
more
sorry.
glide.
I think they're
I think
both like.
so. Well, they're both one speeds, but I think the Dillo, you throw it the same way you throw your Berg, and it's going to go further.
Well, it's just not gonna try and get to the ground as fast. I
Yeah,
guess.
and some might associate that and call that glide.
Well,
Some would, not
they're
all,
both like
not
a
all.
one glide. That's all I'm saying.
That's
Since
one speed. It's speed
Paige
one.
Paige hates numbers.
So, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Jammers in the Rough. Rough. We got
Whoa.
some amazing co hosts tonight. Cody, the absolute worst Waldron.
That's right.
We got Josh, triple two himself, Winter. And of
Love it.
course, your lead, your favorite, the absolute best, Paige. Welcome to the show, guys. We got an amazing one for you. We're going to jump into it with Ledgestone ending. Huge shout out to Cole, Oregon, Hillsboro area, Shark, Northwest, born and raised and bred, taking down his first event in the Pro Tour. And it just happened to be an Elite Plus event, which is going to lead us to our topic tonight. So, this is the first year that the Pro Tour introduced these things called Elite Plus tournaments. The idea behind them was to try to create more hype. Um, Also, all of the points received at these tournaments are doubled. There's additionally higher cash at these tournaments and an additional day to these tournaments. So they're 4 day long tournaments. There's three of them. So you had the Portland Open, Ledgestone that completed last week, and the one in Europe at the PLS, whatever that open was with the axe.
Yeah, that one.
That one, the one that Paul Macbeth won. So the winners, spoiler alert, guys, if you haven't been paying attention to disc golf at all this year, PDX Open, we had Hamas taking it down. We had Paul Macbeth taking down the Europe one. And most recently, Cole Redolin taking down Ledgestone. So our topic this week is, with this being the first year of Elite Plus, what are you guys' thoughts? Were they a success? Do you want to see more next year? Or is the PDGA just going after everyone's money and just about to implode? What are your thoughts?
That's
Yes. Just
a
yeah. Just
loaded
yeah.
question.
Just say yes
Well,
to all of it.
well, I think the Elite Plus is, I don't know if it's like I don't think it's like a cash grab, but I mean, like Portland Open's always been 4 rounds, like that's always been four, so not much has changed there. Ledgestone's always been four. I'm not sure. I don't know where PCS from last year, personally. So I don't know. Like yeah, they added more points. It could entice more players to come do it, but at the same time, like still not all players came to all those events. I mean, like Paul missed Portland Open, so he didn't make it to that one. He went to Europe. Um,
Also, real
I
quick,
don't know.
too,
I don't really see a difference.
you're wrong. Portland Open was 3 rounds last year.
Bullshit.
I just looked it up. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, that's this year. Ha, that's 4. Sorry, I went to the wrong year.
Oh my god!
You can't
This is
even.
our-
You
this-
went to the wrong
this
year
is our
and you can't tell
leader.
the difference between 3 and 4.
This is
That's
the
terrible.
leader. This is the leader right here.
Everyone's favorite that can't count to 4.
That's all right.
All right, so
Counting's hard.
So what do you got for last year? 2022.
Yeah, 3
Figure it
rounds.
out.
I was right. So 2021, 3 rounds.
Uh-huh.
I still don't
What's
believe it.
2022?
Huh?
What's 2022?
No. The fact that you said every year was 4 years, so I don't even need to go.
Every year was
I don't
4
need to go
years. What is
2022.
happening here?
I don't need to go
Oh.
20. Just 1 year proves you wrong, Josh.
It does. It does. Portland Open 2022 disc golf. I'll Google it. What's your take, Paige? I want to hear yours.
Well, I think what you were saying, it's kind of like a lot of kind of how I feel. You took the biggest tournaments and you slapped a plus on it, and you gave more money, which is obviously needed and should be associated with bigger tournaments. But it didn't move the needle at all. I think all of those people would still be at that tournament. So, you're not going to get any new pros that, are just coming at it for those tournaments. You found a way to give people more money. All of the fans were there. These are already the biggest and some of the more storied tournaments on tour. And weirdly enough, Ricky has some history on both courses, at least in the States, right? Portland Open and Ledgestone. But I don't know. Like I said, they're kind of just they exist, they happen, but I don't think a storyline, with these pluses were so exciting. I think for me, the way that it's kind of stacked kind of just added more confusion and staggered some of it. I felt like Silver Series meant a little bit less now that there's like 4 events in the Pro Tour, right? Like you have your Silver Series, your Elite Series, your Elite Plus, your Majors. Like it's just getting too congested in there. And I like a simple three-way Major, Elite Series, and Silver Series. It made sense to me. Silver Series being one of those where up-and-comers like a Hamas, when he took down Dela, could break through. Also reminds you of some of the old people like a Sexton coming out and still reminding people that they're good. So I always kind of like Silver Series for that. And you'd have some of those like names pop up. Now it kind of seems like Silver Series are there. Some of them are big, but it's kind of arbitrary when you're just like, there's not the same excitement about like, oh, this is a Silver Series, because I felt like BSF, though it was a Silver Series, was bigger than a lot of the Pro Tours, even like the Elite Series. I think they need to either get away from some of the titling, just keep the Pro Tour together, or keep it Silver and Elite. I think Elite Plus didn't move the needle at all, and you just find different ways to funnel that money into these already big tournaments. Okay, so, but that wasn't what you said.
It's not what I said, but it's still partially true. Because last year
But
was not
partially
Elite
true,
Plus.
it's still entirely wrong when what you were saying was all of the Portland Opens were 4 rounds.
You're right. But okay,
Okay.
so let me restate it. Last
No.
year's Portland Open was not an Elite Plus and was 4 rounds. Last year's, the last few years of Ledgestone was not Elite Plus in 4 rounds. So the only thing that's really changed in the last 2 years is the name and the points. That's all that's changed.
That's all it's changed, and I don't think it's done anything.
No,
Like to the
absolutely
sport.
not.
I think there was a good comment where they think that PDGA itself is going downhill, but the popularity of the sport is sky high. I do agree with this. I think with PDGA, they're a little bit. It's like this is their first year doing it. You know what I mean? Like they're trying a lot of things, and a lot of things aren't working, and creating a little bit of disjointedness, and because of that, it's falling a little bit short from expectations. I mean, even with like the split of the divisions, um, you have the PDGA asking people to like hold on the refund request. We're figuring something out. Like you don't do that at the tail end of the year. You don't do that after a decision was made. I think they're abusing the trust of the fans, and taking advantage of that. And especially with disc golfers, I think we're a lot of good-natured individuals out here in the sport, and I feel like they're taking advantage of that just a little bit. I think Cody's kid is going absolutely wild with his trucks, but those are some of my
Yes.
thoughts.
When I look at it, I just want to know what was their intention and what is their goal. If they created this, what did they want to get out of it?
With the Elite Plus?
Yeah, I'm saying, what was their purpose?
I think it's just a trial to see like what hype it would bring. Like adding a
So
plus
it was
sign
just
to
to get.
something
It was just a
bigger.
move. So it's just a move for popularity only, or are they trying? I just think it's getting too jumbled.
I think.
Why?
I think the intent is obviously very clear. It's the tickets are a little bit more expensive to these things. You add an extra day, so you're charging more. You're going a little bit more out to make it bigger, but you're capitalizing on the two major events where you already have a big population and getting more out of them. So they're like, to me, they're just cash grabs. Like I said, like you found a way in which you entice the players to continue to come out, but they're going to be here regardless of. And you just find a way to not call it a major, but try to make it more important. Because like you only like there's less Elite Plus than there are majors. So does that make it harder to win an Elite Plus than it does a major? Because majors are what, 5 days or 4 to 5 days. So even the length of the tournament is similar in stature. Yeah. Is that what they're trying to like? Are they trying to make this like a 0.5 major, or I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What was the point? If they already have majors that are 4 to 5 days, why not just call these Elite Plus majors?
Or Elite D Series? Fuck it.
Oh, Elite D Series, D tier.
Let's go all in.
Because next year it's probably gonna be like Elite Diamond Series. It's gonna be Elite Plus and then like Elite Diamond. They're just gonna keep adding tiers. It's like
it's
video
because
games.
They're bleeding. They're bleeding from the seams, man. Like PDGA is, they're making some choices that are putting them in the light that's us fans of disc golf are not happy about, and it's just making it where going to events cost, like you're saying, Paige, costs more money. I wish that the events, they would do more for the fans that came to the events than they do currently. I mean, I have a great time at Portland Open when it comes through, but they could make it better.
I'm not saying these events aren't fun. These events are a blast. Don't get me wrong. And having that extra day is awesome to watch. My question too, my thought is like it doesn't push the needle, right? These events would still be just as amazing if they didn't, have that plus on the backside of it. Everyone would still show up. But I think too, like it's not even just the event, right? Like you look at Ledgestone, like this is where we get the whole like you can't have an unbiased Nate Heinhold when they're running Ledgestone. He gives himself an Elite Plus. He's the PDGA board president, is reelected. I guess Josh didn't like my opinion. He's a Nate Heinhold fan. But my point being, Ledgestone has so many releases fundraising for the Ledgestone tournament.
Oh, it's so bad.
And they're for profit, right? It's not like they're purely selling this for Ledgestone, because they're not. They have a team to supply. They have people's contracts and paychecks to take care of. And so it's like, for me, Ledgestone looks a little bit like worse and worse every year because they're using it for a giant cash grab. At least PDX Open doesn't have its own little like side Ledgestone hustle that's selling discs for the PDX Open all throughout the year. And, at least it's separate, but I think we need to create more separation between some of these like entities and, the business counterparts, right? Like if you're on the board, you shouldn't have a vested interest in any of these companies because you can't be unbiased. And I think That's been really
Well, that's
clear
a conflict
this
of interest. In most businesses and different places, that's considered a conflict of interest and wouldn't be allowed to happen. So why is it happening here?
year. Yeah, exactly. And it's just,
And
I mean,
and I feel like I love that disc. I guess they're making more disc, but man, they have oversaturated the market with so many runs of disc of Ledgestone, like the Ledgestone run. Like I feel like that's all I see in Discraft now. How many of those fly dye Lunas that everyone was flipping on?
right? And
last week?
they purposely mislead the consumers, right? They're like, there's only 300 of these, and then they release 300 of the certain colorway, and then American flag comes up, and there's like 1,500 of them or 1,300 of them or whatever.
And someone said they're going to put more on like Infinite at some point because they don't
Yeah.
say anything about Ledgestone only. So
And that's the thing. I mean, it's definitely like all about the money, but it ruins that taste. And especially like, I think Ledgestone a couple of years ago was like, okay, these are only website releases. You only had like 36 of things. Like it was very limited and it wasn't as cash grab. But now Ledgestone is selling to brick and mortar stores, and brick and mortar stores are buying, because that's better than the Discraft allotment that you're getting. So they're
yeah,
buying some of
why am I seeing Discraft like Ledgestone runs in like a store? It should be buy from Ledgestone or you don't buy it.
And this is, like I said, like my point is, like, I think there needs to be some separation with it. If you're gonna have the Elite Plus at Ledgestone, then you can't have Ledgestone a part of it, which is weird to say.
Yeah.
I know, because it's Ledgestone. Well, you can't have Nate Heinhold a part of it, right? Make it back to Discraft, or make it, Innova, and spread some of that out a little bit better, which will never happen because that's not how it was set up, right? The rich get richer in that situation. But is this something that has kind of been bugging me with Elite, especially with this Elite Plus, when like one of the three tournaments is such a like cash grabbing
Yeah.
thing?
What do you think about it, Josh?
Josh, you there?
He must be. Oh, he's on the Jammers in the Rough Plus. He's on the
he's the Jammers in the Rough Plus, right?
He's on
for
the
a limited time only, guys. Jammers in the Rough Plus for $69.99 a month. You get access to Josh Winter. Otherwise, for this free subscription, it's just us two. So
bottom of the
subscribe now at OnlyFlans/Jammers in the Rough.
OnlyFlans.
OnlyFlans.
I mean, I like flan. So, or is it flan? I think it's flan.
It's flan. I don't know. I'm not Mexican. I'm not Spanish.
I don't.
That's where it comes from. It's from down south.
You heard it here first. I'm not Mexican.
Yep. You can quote me on that.
That's going to be on a t-shirt.
So this is a real.
Boom.
This is what I get worried